What's up guys? Welcome back to Cruel Tax and Accounting Tutorial and welcome back to the accounting series. This time pag-uusapan naman natin is recording of business transactions, particularly for a service type business. Hinati natin ito into different parts kasi medyo mahaba. Okay? So, simulan natin. For this particular topic, ito yung ating mga learning objectives. Number one, you must be able to describe the different processes involved in the accounting cycle. Okay, so una, alamin natin ano ba yung accounting cycle and what are the processes within that cycle. Number two, identify the different books of accounts used by business entities in recording transactions. Okay, so ang i-discuss natin hindi lang yung theoretical books, ang i-discuss natin ano ba talaga yung ginagamit na books in actual practice. Okay? Number three, ito na yon yung record, classify, and properly summarize financial transactions. Yung magre-record na talaga tayo sa ating mga libro. Ibig sabihin, journalizing na yung pag-uusapan natin dyan. Problem na yon. Okay? And number four, turuan namin kayo mag-prepare ng isang trial balance. At ano ba yung trial balance? Pag-usapan na rin natin. And after that, identify the common errors committed in the preparation of a trial balance. Okay, so specifically, ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon is accounting process. Okay? Mahalaga kasing alam natin yung different processes in the accounting cycle. Okay, ano ba yung mga nangyayari? Ano ba yung mga dapat gawin? So, yun yung pag-uusapan natin. Sa ibang parts, pag-uusapan natin yung books of accounts, and then recording of transactions, and the trial balance. Okay, so, simulan natin sa accounting process. Okay. So, ano nga ba itong tinatawag nating accounting process? Ano-ano ba yung mga processes na tinutukoy na yan? At ano ba yung accounting cycle? Okay? So, every now and then, yung mga accountants or yung businesses, nagpe-prepare ng financial reports, particularly ng mga tinatawag nating financial statements. And in that process, meron tayong mga ginagawa. 'Di ba? Para ma-prepare natin yung financial statements. 'Di ba? Meron tayong mga step by step na dapat gawin. So, yun yung tinatawag nating accounting process. At yung process na yun ay paulit-ulit. Okay? So, yan yung pag-uusapan natin. So, gaya ng nasabi ko, financial statements are prepared periodically. Pwedeng monthly, quarterly, annually, depende sa requirement ng agency. Pero, usually, it is a common practice that financial statements are prepared on a monthly basis. Sa mga kumpanya, makikita mo usually monthly. Pero, the least requirement is you prepare or the company should prepare an annual financial statements. Okay? Ngayon, the process of preparing FS is repeated each accounting period. Kaya nga siya tinawag na accounting cycle kasi paulit-ulit yung ginagawa. Ibig sabihin, halimbawa, nag-prepare ka ng January ng financial statements. Lahat ng ginawa mo doon, uulitin mo na naman sa February para magawa mo ulit yung financial statements and so on. Okay? Kaya siya cycle, paulit-ulit. Yun ang nga alamin natin later. Okay? Ngayon, nabanggit yung accounting period. Ano ba yung accounting period? Accounting period, pwedeng calendar or natural. Pero basically, pag sinabi natin accounting period, it is a period of 1 year or period of ito yung period na kailangan mag-prepare mo ng financial statements. Okay? Na pwedeng calendar or natural. Okay? So, minsan ang tawag sa kanya, fiscal period, reporting period, yan. Accounting period. Ngayon, ano pagkakaiba ng natural and calendar? Natural and calendar. Accounting period. Pag sinabi natin calendar, yung paggawa mo ng financial statements, ang simula mo, January. Ang end mo, December. Ibig sabihin, pag nag-prepare ka ng annual financial statements, ang dulo nun, December 31. Okay, kaya pag nag-prepare ka halimbawa ng balance sheet mo, nakalagay doon as of December 31. Kung anong year. Okay, calendar. Kaya sa calendar, nakasunod sa calendar, January to December. Pag sinabi naman nating natural, ibig sabihin, ang simula mo hindi January. At ang ending mo hindi December. Any other month within the year, basta hindi January simula. At syempre, pag di ka nagsimula ng January, tapos bibilang ka ng 1 year, malamang ang ending mo nun, hindi rin December. 'Di ba? Halimbawa, nagsimula ka ng February. Pag bumilang ka ng 12 months, ang ending nun ay January of the following year. Okay, so merong mga company na gumagamit ng calendar, meron namang iba gumagamit ng natural. Okay, pero usually, ang pinaka-common is yung calendar basis. Okay, so yan. Ngayon, ano yung process, yung accounting process, so processes within the accounting cycle. So isa-isahin natin yan mamaya. So ito yung mga yon. Number one, the first step is identifying and analyzing events to be recorded. Hindi tayo babanat agad ng magjo-journalize tayo or magre-record agad tayo dun sa books natin. First step, you identify and analyze the event to be recorded. Kasi hindi lahat ng transaction, malalaman natin mamaya, hindi ay inire-record sa books of accounts or sa accounting books natin, hindi lahat. Okay, so mamaya alamin natin what is the rule para masabi natin na ang isang transaction ay dapat i-record sa books. Number two, pag alam mo na yung dapat mong i-record, edi i-record mo na recording of transactions in the journal. Okay? So, alamin natin mamaya ano ba yung journal. Okay? Sa part 2 yun. And then, after that, posting of journal entries to the ledger. Okay? So, after recording the transactions, i-post mo daw sa ledger. So, meron naman tayong isang book of account called the ledger. Ano ba yung posting? Paano ba yun? Tuturuan tayo. Malalaman natin yan pag nandun na tayo sa actual recording of transactions and posting to the ledger. Okay, probably sa part 3 yon. Okay, so after posting of journal entries to the ledger, ang kasunod na niyan is recording of adjusting entries. So alamin din natin ano ba yung adjusting entries at bakit ito inire-record, saan ito inire-record, okay, and posting that to the ledger. Okay? And then after that is recording of closing entries. So another type of entry is closing entry. Ano ba 'yon? Mamaya pag-usapan natin. And posting the same to the ledger. After that, pwede ka na mag-prepare ng financial statements, yung basic financial statements. And in addition, yung number 7 is an optional step, which is the recording of reversing entries. O, di ba? Tatlo na, no? Kanina, adjusting, closing. This time, meron pa palang isa. We call that reversing entries, but this is optional. Okay, so basically, ito yung mga processes na nauulit-ulit each accounting cycle or each accounting period. So, dapat kabisado natin itong mga to at kung paano siya gawin. Okay, so himayin natin. Number 1, yung identifying and analyzing events to be recorded. Okay? Kaya nga nung una, tinuruan kayo how to analyze transactions and its effect in the accounting equation, di ba? Ito ba ay increase in asset? Ito ba ay increase in liability or increase in capital or equity or decrease? Di ba? Kaya tinuro sa inyo nung nakaraan. Ngayon, kaya nang nasabi ko kanina, not all business events are recorded. Sir, ano lang po yung nire-record? Ito, only those affecting the asset, liability, or equity. Pag gagalaw ang asset, liability, or equity, you record that transaction. Kasi that, di ba, sa mga examples natin before, merong mga nangyayari in the business na hindi naman inire-record sa books or accounting books kasi wala pa naman siyang epekto sa mga elemento na asset, liability, and equity. For example, hiring of an employee, di ba? Wala pa naman tayong pinapasweldo doon, so hindi natin yon i-record. Okay, o kaya, addition of a new supplier or addition of a new customer. Di ba? So, no effect on asset, liability, or equity. Wala pa siyang financial effect, therefore, wag pa nating i-record. Kaya mahalaga, alam natin ay yung mga dapat at hindi dapat i-record. Ito na nga yung rule. Di ba? Only those affecting the following elements. Okay? Ngayon, assuming in your analysis, dapat i-record yung transaction. Pero tandaan mo, in recording transactions, dapat meron tayong supporting evidence or supporting documents. Okay? Ngayon, ano ba? What are the common supporting documents? Okay, so, ito lang naman yon. We have Yung pinaka-common na, we have invoices or invoice and official receipt. Halimbawa, nagbenta ka ng goods. Dapat mag-issue ka ng sales invoice. Ano yon? Yung nasa ibabaw, yung kulay puti, usually yon ang invoice, bibigay mo yun sa iyong customer. The other one, yung duplicate niya, may iwan sa'yo, that will serve as evidence ng ating sales. Diba? So, lahat ng sales natin, merong nakatapat na sales invoice or may supporting document na sales invoice. Okay? Paano naman, sir, yung official receipt? Okay? If you are engaged in business, particularly service business, pag meron kang customer, nagbayad sa'yo, ulitin ko service business nagbayad sa'yo, issuehan mo dapat yan ng official receipt. Ganun din, yung puti, nasa ibabaw ng resibo, bigyan mo sa customer, yung matitira, yun yung basis ng ating income or service revenue. Okay? So, mahalaga alam natin yung pagkakaiba ng invoice or sales invoice versus official receipt kasi mahalaga yan in actual practice. Ano yung pagkakaiba? Nabanggit ko na kanina. Dapat pag ang business mo ay merchandising, ibig sabihin, nagbebenta ka. You are engaged in the selling of goods. Dapat ang ipagawa mo sa BIR ay sales invoice, hindi official receipt. Pag ikaw naman engage in service, dapat ang ini-issue mo ay official receipts. O, tandaan niya, pag bumili kayo ngayon sa mga groceries or kung saan man na meron kayong binayaran, alam mo na, kaya pala official receipt ang binigay sa akin. Kaya pala invoice ang binigay sa akin. Okay, so halimbawa, kayo, nag-aaral kayo, di ba? Nagbayad kayo sa school. Pansinin mo, ang ibibigay sa'yo, pag nagbayad ka, is official receipt. Okay? So, balik tayo sa topic natin. Ang pinopoint out natin, yung i-record mong transaction must have supporting documents. Kasi pag in-audit yan at walang supporting documents, edi patay ka dyan. Okay? For taxation purposes, halimbawa, walang supporting documents yung expense mo, ay di-disallow yung expense na yan. Hindi mo siya ma-deduct for taxation purposes. Okay? Next, number 2. Nalaman mo na yung mga karapat dapat i-record, edi ang kasunod, i-record mo na saan? Sa journal. Okay? Itong journal na to, we call that the book of original entry. Why? Kasi lahat ng transaction, dyan mo muna i-record sa journal. So, meron pa tayong mas detailed explanation regarding the journal sa part 2 natin. Okay, so you record the transactions in the journal. Okay? At ang pagre-record natin must be chronological. Pag sinabi natin chronological, magkakasunod. Kasi yung resibo natin, yung sales invoice natin, may numbers yan eh. Okay, pre-numbered yun kasi may magkakasunod. Ang issuance mo din dapat doon ay magkakasunod. At pag nag-issue ka nun, may date doon. Okay? So, dapat yung date natin magkakasunod. Halimbawa, January 2, January 3, January 5, January 7. Hindi pwedeng mauna yung January 7 sa January 2 sa pagre-record mo sa journal. So, sa journal, magkakasunod yung transaction. Para pag binili ka, madali. 'Di ba? Hindi ka malilito na. Nasaan na tong date na to? Hindi ganoon. Sunod-sunod or chronological. Ngayon, sir, ano yung tawag doon sa ginagawa namin sa pag nagre-record kami sa journal? What do we call that? We call that journalizing. Okay? Journalizing or recording in the journal. Okay, so nai-record na natin sa journal. Anong kasunod? Ito yung kasunod. It is now time to post the journal entries to the ledger. So, ledger ang kasunod. Another book. Diba? Hindi siya journal. Ang tawag nga sa kanya is ledger. Posting. Ibig sabihin, meron tayong mga information na kokopyahin from the journal, ilalagay natin sa ledger. Kaya tinawag na posting. Okay? So, the information from the journal is entered into another book of account called the ledger. Okay? Kasi each account, halimbawa yung cash, receivable, supplies, expenses, revenue, lahat yan may kanya-kanyang ledger. Okay? Wherein, increases and decreases are recorded. Ibig sabihin, halimbawa cash. Makikita mo doon, ito yung mga increase. Debit, ito yung mga decrease. Credit, tapos what is the balance at the end of the period? Yun yung ledger. Okay, malalaman mo yung transactions na nangyari sa isang account. Okay, at yung balance niya updated balance niya. Okay? Magagawa mo 'yun 'pag na-i-post na. Halimbawa, galing sa journal, meron tong debit cash 100,000, credit capital 100,000. So, 'pag sinabi nating posting to the ledger, tingnan mo yung cash, naka-debit 100,000. Hanapin mo sa ledger yung cash, tapos iglagay ka do'n debit 100,000, gano'n din. Okay? Ayan, there are two types of ledger. We have the general ledger and the subsidiary ledger. Okay? Yung malalaking company, meron silang additional ledger, yung subsidiary ledgers. Kung bakit, saka na natin pag-usapan. Pero generally, we have the general ledger. Okay? Ngayon, assuming na i-post na natin yung amounts or information na kailangan dalhin dun sa ledger, ano nang kasunod? Okay? It is your option if you want to prepare a trial balance. Pag sinabi nating trial balance, ililista mo yung lahat ng debit, ililista mo yung lahat ng amount ng credit, tapos ito-total mo yung debit, ito-total mo yung credit, dapat balance. Kaya nga siya tinawag na trial balance. Okay? Ngayon, paano siya gagawin? Paano siya i-prepare? Pwedeng manually. Okay? Sa papel or sa worksheet o sa bond paper. Or, kung gusto mo mas madali, using Excel. Para naka-formula na siya, madali mo makita, madali ring mag-edit. At ikaw ay swerte kapag ang system ng napasukan mo na company is automated. Ibig sabihin, the generation of a trial balance is automatic. Generate mo lang, hanapin mo, trial balance, tapos period na kailangan mo, lalabas na yung trial balance. Okay? Ano ba yung trial balance? It is a listing of all accounts used by the organization in recording transactions with their balances. Ibig sabihin, lahat ililista mo from assets, lahat ng accounts doon, liabilities, equity, revenue, expenses, lahat yun ililista mo. Pagkalista mo, syempre nasa unahan yung mga assets. Yun ang usual arrangement, cash. Assets, liabilities, equity, revenue, expenses. Ganun usually ang pagkaka-arrange para mas madaling makita. Okay, yung magkakasama. So, halimbawa sa asset, merong cash, 100,000 debit. Receivable, 200,000 debit. Lista mo lahat yon. Kaya pag liability naman, credit, equity, credit, revenue, credit, expense, debit. Tapos, dapat balance. Ngayon, sa punto na to, pag nag-prepare ka ng trial balance, ang tawag natin sa trial balance yun, we call it the unadjusted trial balance. Okay? Ang tanong, additional question, what is the purpose of a trial balance? Ito, okay, simpleng-simple, to determine the equality of debit and credit entries. Kung balanse ba yung mga pinag-entry mo sa journal at sa ledger. Okay? Ngayon, please take note that the trial balance is not a financial statement. It's not a financial statement. Okay? Hindi siya isang official financial report. Kumbaga, gusto mo lang makita yung balanse ng debit at credit, no? Trial balance. At tandaan mo rin, hindi porke balanse ang trial balance nung ginawa mo, tama na lahat yan. Posibleng meron pa rin naging mali, na doble yung entry mo, o kaya nagkulang ka ng entry. So, posible na ganon. Okay? Basta ang purpose ng trial balance is to determine the equality of debit and credit. Kasi pag nakita mo, ay, balance, ika mong ganyan, medyo makakampante ka sa sarili mo na, ay, okay, baka tama yung ginawa ko. Okay. Ngayon, assuming nag-prepare ka ng trial balance at ito ay balance naman, what's the next step? The next step is to prepare or record adjusting entries and post that to the ledger. Okay, kung yung journal kanina, entries, pinopost natin sa ledger, yung adjusting entries ganun din. Pagkari mong i-record sa journal, yung information, kokopyahin mo ulit sa ledger. Okay, so sa actual na problem, matututunan nyo yan. Okay, ngayon, sagutin natin yung tanong na, kailan ipine-prepare or inire-record ang mga adjusting entries? Ang sagot, it is at the end of each accounting period or reporting period. Ibig sabihin, halimbawa, January ang pinapagawa sa yung financial statements. Ibig sabihin, yung mga adjusting entries natin for January must be dated January 31. Okay, yung end of the month. O kaya kung ito ay annual, end of the year. Nagets nyo? Okay? What's the purpose? To update some accounts to their correct balances. Okay, so ang purpose pala ng adjusting entries ay itama yung balanse ng certain accounts na nai-record na natin previously. Okay, para itama siya, para i-update. Ibig sabihin, if you omit adjusting entries, mali na ang FS mo. Kasi mali na yung ibang amounts na nakalagay doon. Kasi nga, hindi ka nag-adjust. Okay, so pag-usapan din natin, what are the common adjusting entries? Ngayon, basta ang tandaan mo sa ngayon, pag ikaw ay nag-record or nag-prepare ng adjusting entries, each entry impacts at least one income statement account and one balance sheet account. Ibig sabihin na magka-partner kapag ikaw ay pag-adjusting entries ang pinag-uusapan natin, isang balance sheet account or isang income statement account. Magka-partner siyang ganun. Hindi pwedeng both income statement accounts o kaya both balance sheet accounts. Hindi pwedeng ganun. Okay? O FYI, review. Ano ba yung balance sheet accounts? We also call that real accounts or permanent accounts. Ano-ano yun? Asset, liability, equity. Lahat ng yon. Ngayon, what are income statement accounts? So, these are temporary accounts or suspense accounts. Ano nga yun? Yung lahat ng revenue and expense accounts. Okay? Ngayon, assuming na i-record mo na yung adjusting entries sa ating journal at na-post mo na rin yung needed information sa ledger, ang kasunod natin ay at your option again, you may prepare a trial balance. And we call that the adjusted trial balance. Why? Because na-record na natin yung mga adjusting entries kaya siya tinawag na adjusted trial balance. Mas updated ito. Okay? O yan. It may be prepared after adjusting entries have been posted to the ledger. Kasi yung trial balance, kinukuha mo lang naman yung mga amounts nito doon sa ating ledger. Okay? Ganun ang halaga ng ledger. Doon makikita yung updated balances. Kung updated rin ang posting. In reality kasi minsan, halimbawa, June na ngayon, naiiwan pa yung mga recording. Hindi pa na-record yung March, okay, nasa March pa lang yung pine-prepare mo na FS, tsaka mga books, yung ina-update natin. Minsan ganun. Ideally kasi dapat, hindi ganun ka-late, di ba? Halimbawa, January pine-prepare. Mga first week of February or second week of February, tapos na yon dapat, yung January reports. Okay, ayun yun ideal. Okay? Pero in reality, pwedeng hindi na-achieve yun. Maaring hindi talaga na-achieve. Okay? What's the purpose of the trial balance again? To determine the equality of debit and credit entries after adjustments have been posted. O, di ba? Magpe-prepare ka ng adjusting entries. Ibig sabihin, gagalaw yung mga accounts. Prepare ka ulit ng trial balance kung gusto mo. Para malaman mo, yung mga dinagdag ko, okay naman. Kasi, balance pa rin ng debit at credit. Again, review. 'Di ba? Under the double entry accounting system, kapag ikaw ay nag-record ng isang entry, dapat dual ang effect, 'di ba? Merong debit, merong credit. Okay? Kaya lahat ng entry mo, dalawa tama no, debit at credit. Okay? Ngayon, assuming nung tiningnan mo yung adjusted trial balance, balance naman, ano na kasunod mong gagawin? Ito kasunod mong gagawin. You may now prepare or record closing journal entries or closing entries. Aba, kung merong adjusting, meron din palang closing entries. Ang tanong, kailan ito inire-record? Kailan ito pine-prepare? Okay? Ang sagot, prepared at the end of the reporting period or accounting period. Kagaya ng adjusting. Kung ano ang date ng adjusting entries mo, yun din ang date ng yung closing entries. Okay? End of the accounting period or reporting period. Ngayon, what accounts are subject to closing? Ito sagot, all temporary accounts shall be closed to the capital account in order to determine their correct or its correct balance. Ibig sabihin, pag ikaw pala ay nag-record ng closing entries at ito ay pinost mo sa ledger natin, ma-update yung balance ng capital. Okay? Again, ano ba yung mga temporary accounts? Revenue and expenses accounts. Diba? Pag i-close mo yon, yung net balance niya, doon dapat idagdag or ibawas sa capital. Minsan kasi net income. Pag net income, madadagdagan ng capital. Pag net loss, mababawasan yung capital. Okay, so sa actual makikita nyo, paano nga ba i-close yung mga temporary accounts. Pero, heads up, ganito kasimple lang yan. Expenses, 'di ba normally naka-debit. Pag kinlose mo 'yan, ang gagawin mo, iki-credit mo siya, pati yung mga amounts. Revenue, normally naka-credit 'yan. Para ma-close siya, ide-debit mo para mag-zero. Okay, and any balance icha-charge natin sa account na income and expense summary. Minsan naman income summary account. Ayun. Ngayon, yung income summary account na 'yon, iko-close mo naman 'yon. Pwedeng dagdag or bawas sa capital para maging updated yung capital. And after closing entries have been recorded and posted to the ledger, ano ba mangyayari? The balance of all temporary accounts will be equal to zero. Kasi ikinlose na natin. So, gano'n ang epekto ng closing. Lahat ng revenue and expense accounts mawawala as well as their balances. Mare-refresh yung record mo para pagdating na kasunod na buwan or kasunod na taon, ibang recording ka naman ng mga transactions. Okay? Ngayon, after recording journal entries and posting to the ledger, anong kasunod? At your option, you may prepare again a trial balance. This time we call it the post-closing trial balance. Ibig sabihin, after closing, ito yung magiging trial balance natin. Ano ba epekto niyan? This trial balance will only contain permanent accounts. Yung mga balance sheet accounts, sila lang yung magiging laman. Okay? Kasi nga, ikinlose na natin yung temporary, yung revenue and expense, kaya wala na sila. Pag nag-prepare ka ng trial balance, makikita mo na lang doon, assets, liability, and equity, debit at credit. Tapos, babalance mo, dapat balance siya. Okay? O, yun, nabanggit ko na. Ito na lang yung magiging laman niya. Ngayon, what's the purpose of a trial balance? Paulit-ulit. To determine or to test the equality of debit and credit entries of the remaining accounts. Okay? So yan. Ngayon, assuming na-close mo na ang libro, gano'n ang tawag nila, na-close mo na yung libro, ibig sabihin na-record mo na yung adjusting entries, closing entries, tapos na. Anong kasunod na step? Ito na kasunod na step. You may now prepare the financial statements. Why? Kasi updated na yung balanse ng ledger. Ibig sabihin, pag gagawa ka pala ng FS, yung mga amounts, kukuhanin mo saan? Sa ledger. Okay. Dapat updated yung ating ledger. Ngayon, yan, nabanggit ko na, it is based on the updated ledger balances. Kaya lang, take note of this. Sa punto na to, ang maipe-prepare mo pa lang ng maayos, assuming kabisado mo na yung ibang processes, is yung balance sheet, income statement, tsaka yung statement of changes in equity. Ito kayang-kaya mo i-prepare kahit andito pa lang tayo sa punto na basic accounting. Okay. However, the statement of cash flows and notes to financial statements requires higher or requires knowledge in higher accounting subjects. 'Di ba? Kasi doon pag-aaralan yung rules. Paano ba mag-prepare ng cash flow? Lalo naman yung notes to financial statements, kailangan alam na alam mo yung other accounting subjects diyan, yung tawag dito, yung CFAS kung tawagin nila, no? Conceptual Framework and Accounting Standards. Yan. Lahat ng intermediate accounting 1, 2, 3. Di ba? Kasi may mga tinatawag tayong required disclosures. Di ba? So, diyan mo lalagay yan sa notes to financial statements. At hindi natin mako-cover dito yan ngayon. Yung how to properly prepare the notes to financial statements kasi ang kapal-kapal niyan eh. Okay? Okay, step number 7 is, gaya ng nasabi ko, is an optional step, which is the recording of reversing entries. Pag sinabi natin reversing entries, ibig sabihin, meron tayong babalik ta rin. Ginornalize natin nung nakaraan, babalik ta rin natin ngayon. Parang ganon. But this is optional. Ngayon, ano yung mga binabaliktad? Ito yun. Some adjusting entries made at the end of the reporting period or accounting period are reversed on the first day of the next accounting period. So, pag-usapan mo na kailan pinaprepare ang reversing entries. Ang sabi, on the first day of the next accounting period. So, halimbawa, January, nag-prepare ka ng FS, ang date nun, January 31. Tapos, pinili mo as a policy ng company, mag-record ng reversing entries. Ang sagot, kailan ko i-record ang adjusting entries? Anong date? February 1. Then, first day of the next accounting period. What's the purpose of reversing entries? Ito, to simplify the accounting process. Pero syempre, malaking tanong pa sa'yo yan kung paano. As we go along, masasagot natin, paano nga ba naging simplified yung accounting process by recording reversing entries. So, pag-uusapan din natin yan. Huwag kayong mag-alala. Okay? So, thank you for listening. Sana marami kayong natutunan. Abangan nyo pa yung part 2 ng ating video. God bless.